Well, good morning, guys. It is Labor Day. You can tell it's a little chilly. I was actually fishing for a minute earlier, topwater. I had to go back and get some stuff. I didn't have anything on topwater. I tried just to see, mostly main lake. I did not go to the back. I did not see any gizzard shad either out on some of the main lake stuff, the bluff end, chunk rock type stuff. So it's a little early for that still, but I like to go out and try because I've had some really good success before doing that a little bit earlier, I guess, than what is normal. Today, now that the sun is up, we are mostly going to be focusing in and around brush, maybe around docks, maybe not. I'm going to start up here in the lower end and I'm going to work my way towards the toll bridge area and just see if anything's consistent or if I get something to work up here, if I can get it to continue to work that direction. Did notice some gizzards and some a lot more bluegill around docks, some shallow over by my place, so that's a good sign. I've kind of been lacking some of those bluegill this summer that I like to flip around, so that I think is a big component to the flipping bite being decent for those gizzard shad push up in there. If you have a lot of bluegill, that gives some of those bass that kind of live under those docks. I think that's what they feed on a lot of those bigger fish do. So I got a brush hog on, of course, shaky head, and I've got a jig. So I'm going to primarily use those three things first, kind of see if I can get something consistent going. It's a nice sunny day, doesn't look like any clouds, so it should set up to be a good dock style day, or even just a lone brush pile. I would imagine the fish would be in that brush. So we're gonna run over here, do a little fishing, have to fill up the boat a little bit, running on fumes, and then we will carry on our day and just keep heading west, is what I'm gonna call it. So let's see what we get into. Finally. Take him. There we go. There's a start to our day. It'll be about a 4. Maybe. He might be a 3 something, but either way. We'll take him. He was just nice and quiet, hanging out underneath that pontoon in the shade. All right, first one of the day, 320, not a bad one. I've been flipping shallow, trying to get this going, trying to see, experiment a little bit. I don't see too many bluegill, which is a little alarming back here. There's some shad, but not a lot of bluegill, so we're gonna keep moving around a little bit. If need to, I'll just keep heading further down the lake. Might be a small keeper, maybe. Short number 2, or number 1, I should say. That's a good sign that I caught one on this dock. I'll sort through those all day if I gotta catch some of those to catch another 3 or 4 or 5 pounder. Took my damn tails off that sucker. Alright, I'm gonna pitch a jig in here just because we're right here and ready to go with it. There's one finally out of that brush pile. Doesn't feel big though. He is not. But finally got one out of a deeper pile. They were not wanting to cooperate with me. See you later, bud. Got him on a curly tail, so rough over here. Put a curly tail on with a 3/8 ounce weight so I could feel a little better. I got a smaller shaky head on right now, which is fine until you get to this little bit deeper piles like this and it gets real wavy. Then it's hard to feel. I need to probably put a little heavier one on. Shoot. There's one. And spit it. Never even got a good hook in them. Never even got a good hook in them. I rang the dinner bell. Had a bad flip. Oh, there's one. Oh, he just spit it out too. I was hooked on that branch. Oh man, look at that. He just broke my hook. Well, I had him. Okay, that's not my fault. Oh, humpback. Little fella, see you later, bud. Old brush hog here is screaming. No more. I think you got one more in you, buddy. All right, that's a wrap for today. Overall, still not great fishing for me. Biggest one was a little over 3 pounds. Lost another one that was probably around the same size or so. My hook broke out of some brush or lay down, but I kind of moved around. I honestly didn't go as far away as I should have. It's still super rough, really. A lot of boat traffic still, so it was like, eh. But I worked my way pretty much to the gravelway. And I think maybe it got a little bit better as you went that way versus here on the lower end itself, right by the dam. Pretty much by the end of the day, you could go to the back of a creek, you could go towards the back of certain coves, and pretty much at least catch 1 or 2 fish on a shallow dock. Problem being, most of them were shorts. That was just flipping a brush hog. I only caught just a couple fish out of around docks in brush that a little bit deeper. Some of them were on channel bank, some of them were just on the flatter part of the channel bank, like on the channel swing, I should say. Some were off secondary points. Again, those were all shorts though, and I caught those on a ribbon tail, 10-inch ribbon tail worm, and a shaky head. I ran out of green pumpkin shaky head worms, so I had to go to June bug. I do think that the green pumpkin was doing a little bit better, but that was all I had. But as far as fishing around those docks, it was the same thing. I pretty much go about halfway back, I would say, into a decent sized cove or a creek and start working down the rows of docks. I was primarily fishing spots doing that I didn't really have any history on. I was trying not to just go right to docks that I knew had brush. I was trying to fish just rows and find new docks that had brush and mark that as I went and just kind of fish those areas. And it was the same thing by the end of the day. I could pretty much point on a map and probably tell you that I could park my boat here and go down this row of docks and catch fish. Problem being, again, is that they were not sizable fish. Don't know where all the big ones were. I think if you were gonna try and just catch a decent limit, at least on this part of the lake, I think probably just fishing shallow. The thing of it is though, is you might not end up with 5 keepers doing that, but you could probably have a pretty decent bag for this time of the year if you were able to get all 5 of them in a boat. I'm fishing a tournament next weekend. Probably gonna have to mix and match a little bit, try and go shallow to get some of the bigger fish and get the 15-inch cookie cutters, if I can get those a little bit deeper around some of this brush, kind of work from there. So that's pretty much the gist of it. I did, however, see a lot of crappie on secondary points. Most of them seem to be a little bit closer to the main lake, but I would say around halfway back is a good place to start. Loaded with crappie. So if you want to get into that as we're getting into this fall time, that's where you can start looking for them. We still got 80-degree water temp here, ready for things to kind of cool down, start to get in that transition a little bit again. I'm over summer, but some of these cooler nights and stuff, Gonna be coming up, gonna start getting the fish moving. I'm ready to throw some top water. I think that's a lot of fun in the fall. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. We'll see how we end up doing in the tournament. Hopefully we can put together a decent bag and come away with some money. We got to beat 8th place from last year. We got 8th out of like 100 and something boats last year, so we got to do better than that. So the pressure is on. So we'll see you on the next one, guys.